What's up, you guys? Kamen Rider fan freaks, Godzilla fan freaks, coming at you today with another figure review, and we got a big one. Strap in your belts. Probably going to be a little bit of a long review. We'll just see how it goes. Today, I am taking a look at the Hot Toys exclusive edition Kamen Rider Black Sun Battle Damaged version. So yes, this is a Hot Toys. This is my second Hot Toys I've ever owned. And you can definitely say, you know, quality is there. There is some things that, you know, maybe could have been done a little bit different, but I'm not going to nitpick too much. Considering it's not every day you can find a Hot Toys for under $200. It's not every day you can find a Hot Toys for under $170. I ended up picking this up on Amazon, and when all said and done, free shipping, just had to pay some taxes and stuff on it. It was about 160 something and some change. Like, it was like $162 or $163. In my opinion, for a Hot Toys, that's a steal. Because again, it's very rare you can find these things, because I feel like your standard pricing for a Hot Toys is about that $280 to $300. That's just like standard. And then it can go up from there, because there are Hot Toys out there that are $400. There are Hot Toys out there that are $600, $800, and so on and so forth, depending on the aftermarket and how rare a figure is. Some Hot Toys can even go for thousands of dollars. So again, to find this for the price that I did, it's just awesome. And there's not a lot that Hot Toys comes out with that I like to collect. You know, Hot Toys doesn't do a lot of kaiju. They don't do a lot of Godzilla. I don't even think they've done anything. My only other Hot Toys that I have is the Celtic, or Celtic, however it's pronounced, Predator from the very first AVP movie. And that's an older Hot Toys. So I can definitely tell you, like, differences, changes, qualities, things that they've done differently that are better with this figure than with that figure that is a good amount of years old, because I got that a long time ago. For those who have been with me for a long time, I think I even did a review on it. But yeah, for those who have been with me for a long time, you can tell in the comments how long it's been since I've actually gotten another Hot Toys. So this was really cool to pick up. Comes with a lot of cool accessories, a lot of cool stuff. The base is cool. Very nice box. Not going to go in too far with the box, because, I mean, it's just this outer sleeve. You get the Kamen Rider Black, you know, logo here and there. You get all your legal jargon and warning stuff on the back. The alternate, nice shot with the alternate face. Cool stuff like that. And on the inside, you just have a red box with a big window where you would see the figure. You know, if you collect Hot Toys, you kind of know how Hot Toys boxes are. So yeah, let's just get this box out off to the side, and let's focus on this wonderful, beautiful figure right here, because it is something to admire. Get him a little closer here. I'll probably end up zooming the camera back in, so we won't have so much of a wide shot. But this figure is incredible. As I've stated before, I love Kamen Rider Black Sun. I highly recommend it. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free to watch. Free to watch, great tokusatsu, you know, great story. The suits, the fight choreography, all that stuff is just fantastic. The effects. You know, for me, I think it's like definitely a great, you know, first step into Kamen Rider, at least, you know, kind of modern Kamen Rider. And especially since Kamen Rider Black Sun here is the Kamen Rider that I love. It's dark, it's gritty, it's serious. This is not tokusatsu for the kids. If you can't tell from the battle damage version here, Kamen Rider Black Sun, you got gore, horror elements. I mean, it is not for the faint of heart. It is definitely not for young tokusatsu children fans, for sure. This is a more adult-oriented show just because of its intense violence and, you know, blood, and, you know, it's very serious in that aspect. But I highly recommend it. For me, it's just awesome. I know the writer fan base is really split on Black Sun. Some like it, some hate it, some love it. It's kind of all over the place. I don't necessarily understand the hate for it. I think it's absolutely amazing for 10 episodes. It's great. It's actually a retelling of Kamen Rider Black. This guy right here. So again, like I've stated in like past reviews and stuff like that, Kamen Rider Black and then Black Sun. For those who have seen that really bad movie, The Interview, with Seth Rogen and James Franco, same. We're same, but different, but still same. That's what Kamen Rider Black is, and to Kamen Rider Black Sun. Same characters, same kind of story, but just different uses of the material. My good buddy Matt Burkett from Monstrosities, a channel of Tokusatsu, the way he explained it to me was Kamen Rider Black had some stuff that was faithful to the manga material, but just because it was a made-for-TV show back in 1987 Japan for kids, you know, it was the story was expanded on a little bit to fill in episodes and stuff like that. Black Sun is more traditional to the manga. The original Kamen Rider Black manga, that's kind of what Black Sun is supposed to be. And so if anything, Kamen Rider Black Sun is more truthful to the original manga source material than the original Kamen Rider Black show is. Both are fantastic. Both are great. I highly recommend watching Black Sun and Black, whatever order you want. You want to watch Black first, then Black Sun. You want to watch Black Sun first, then Kamen Rider Black. Whichever way you decide to watch it, and then just connecting the dots with character names, things that happen. It's cool to see it unfold either which way. So that's enough yambering and jambering. Let me go ahead and zoom on in here. That way we get some good details that pop on this figure. It decided to be real overcast today in Tucson. So even though I'm home from work and the sun is still technically up, I don't have all that natural lighting I have from my skylight because the clouds decided to come in and give us some rain. So, but it's kind of fitting here for Black Sun, you know. Get that dark and gritty tone and feel. But, oh man, just starting off with paint applications. Of course, he's got black all throughout his body. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of glossy, sometimes it's matte. It just depends on where the black sits and rests. But overall, it just looks great. You do have these finer lines of like and they are a glossy kind of reddish orange throughout the figure, because those are also other areas where, you know, he would like light up in the show and stuff like that. The eyes and the face, you got some nice silvers, nice red translucent eyes, which this figure does light up. White in here for the Kamen Rider Black Sun symbol on his chest. Again, you get some very dark, deep reds for the blood and the gore, and just areas where he's just cut up and just torn to shreds from battling his nemesis, his brother Shadow Moon. His belt driver, you get some nice, a little bit of teals, bronze, silvers. Again, you get some blood dry brushing on there. Again, there's more of that glossy reddish orange throughout his arms. Get some more gore kibble back here. But just overall is just a fantastic looking figure. For the price, again, it was a no-brainer. It's not every day you get to pick up a Hot Toys. But just absolutely fantastic. Detail. I mean, guys, just look at the figure. Spikes. All the detail in his armor, his under armor pieces. Just all the detail is just absolutely fantastic. All the detail in the hands, the face, again. You got all that nice detail in there. This thing's just amazing. My smile was ear to ear for those that remember the box day. Like, this was too cool. Again, it's not every day you get to collect a Hot Toys. To me, Hot Toys are more expensive than your average X Plus figure, which they are. You know, you get your standard X Plus figure. Very rarely will you hit that $200 mark, sometimes, if not just a little over. But again, your average cost of a Hot Toys is almost $300. I mean, I even want to say the GMK Mothra and Baragon set from X Plus that I recently got, that was only like $295, $94, somewhere in there after all said and done. Which again is, you know, almost just your basic price for a Hot Toys if you're lucky. And that was 2 figures. But one thing I've always said about Hot Toys is not only do you have just great quality, you get great paint, great details that just look fantastic. You know, these figures, let me widen the shot again here a little bit. Hot Toys is basically X Plus meets Tamashii Nations. So you have high quality level paint detailing, but then again, you also have articulation up the wazoo. I mean, he is just a giant SH Figure Arts figure with X Plus style detail. It's just absolutely amazing. So his head, you can look down, you can look ever so far up as I pop off his head, because this figure does light up. But I'll show that in a minute. And everything's held on by magnets. Look at that. Just snaps right back on. You get that seam to line up just right. There we go. And just like that, you're back in business. You do have to be careful of those antennas, though. These antennas are very brittle feeling. So I'm actually lucky that that didn't just break. But again, I have carpet in here. So if just the face falls off, it's not going to have a lot of force on it to necessarily break one of those things. If the face is on the figure and the figure decides to take a little tumble forward, that pressure is probably going to snap one of those. But again, he can look far up, not as far. You got to be careful of that face plate. But he can look down pretty good. You can get some nice head tilt action out of him. He can look left, he can look right, side side. He does have a little bit of an ab crunch, but not a whole heck of a lot. But you can get some forward and backward motion out of him as well, tilt side to side. You can't really turn him left or right though, but that's okay. It's very limited because he has this underbody suit, if you can see that. So all of this is all connected one piece around the body that has the articulation. His little armor pieces are held on by Velcro. You want to move an armor piece around or to help the articulation and then put it back on to where it might fit better? Bam, Velcro. Look at that. And he just sticks right back on. Just Velcro everywhere. For all his armor pieces, Velcro. This right here in his crotch, Velcro. His butt pad, Velcro. These little side pieces here, Velcro. The shoulder pads, these back pieces right here, held on by Velcro. Hot Toys has it down. The quality is there. They understand what these figures need to work and is just an ultimate package. Arms, you can bend outward, bend downward. You can rotate them forward with a little bit of work. He does have a little bit of a swivel there, but again, it's under that leather bodysuit, so you do have to be mindful of that. Joints at the elbows, though, you do get some nice bends at the elbows. Wrists are on a ball joint hinge, so you can get nice, hinge action as well as rotation out of his hands. Again, you can move his forearm armor as you see fit, however you would like to position it. Legs are on like a little bit of a ratchet. There's actually a ratchet joint in there. He can kick forward ever so far, nothing crazy. He can kick backward only ever so far. Knees, though, bend really nicely. Very nicely jointed knees. You can rotate at his thigh a little bit, but not much. Ankles, you can point down. You can point however far up. You get pivot out of the ankles and rotation. So again, really, really cool. Just articulation all the way around for this figure. And again, everything's held on by magnets. So he comes with these shoulder pieces. Even though it kind of covers up a little bit of his gore and everything like that, I still like him with at least one of the shoulder pieces on. Mainly just because, I don't know, it's just a preference for me. To me, it looks better. Some people don't like to put them on at all. But again, it's held on by magnets, so you get it into that spot, and then boom, it just holds on. He does have one for the other side of his body, but I don't like to cover up the symbol on the chest. That's my thing. A little bit of the gore is okay, and it just gives the figure that much more, you know, heft to it versus not having the extra appendages on there. But I don't like covering up the symbol, so that's why I just kind of have him with one. There goes the stand and a few hands. Get into accessories here shortly, since we're done, and we'll go over the light gimmick last. But accessories, so again, like you saw, he comes with another, like, you know, extra appendage grasshopper arm that you could put on the other side of his body if you see fit. He comes with a lot of different hands. Of course, he comes with your basic fists. Let's zoom back in here now. He comes with your fists, and all hands are beautifully detailed and sculpted. So he comes with a couple fists. He comes with, of course, the hands I have on him right now, which are more like spread out finger, you know, grappling type hands. He does come with laxed hands, though, like open, relaxed type hands. And again, they're just beautifully sculpted and detailed. Just very, very nicely well done. Let's see. He comes with two of these kind of like, you know, karate, not like karate, martial art, like, you know, battle ready hands, you know, ready to either take a punch or block a punch or throw a punch or whatever. But again, beautifully detailed. And swapping everything in and out is very easy on this. It's not hard at all. He comes with one finger with a pointing, you know, he comes with one hand pointing. So you get one hand to, I'm trying to get my camera to focus there, point. Comes with all of those. Let's see. He comes with one hand, and I have it on already, but he comes with one hand that you can use to grip his sword. And he does come with his sword. And he comes with two different hilts for it. One with a lot of spikes on it, which I like a little bit more. You can't really see it because the hand is embracing all of them. And then he comes with this other hilt for it that's less spiky. But he does come with a sword, hand to hold it, all that good stuff. He comes with these really, really cool effect pieces, and almost at first glance, I mean, when you see these in person, they almost look like blown glass. For anybody who knows what blown glass looks like, man, this stuff is it almost doesn't look like plastic. It looks like blown glass. That's how beautiful these are. But you have his rider kick, which the only thing that I've noted for mine that you might want to be careful of is when you go and pop it on the ball joint, sometimes when you go to pop it back off, this foot mold likes to suck out that ball joint. So you have to get in there, and I had to get in there at least and remove the ball joint out of the foot and then put it back on the body, and so I could put his regular foot back on. So just be mindful of that. It even happened in his rider punch effect here, which you can see I just left the ball joint in. And then you ask, well, how do you have two hands on? Again, Hot Toys is awesome. They give you two replacement ball joints. It's not going to focus, but only for the hands. This is not the same as what's in the legs for the feet. So that's why I had to dig the one out of this one. But they give you replacement ball joints for the hands, which is nice. So they gave you two of these. I have one left to use because one got stuck in the rider punch hand, and then the other one I just put on the arm. So then I just swap out, you know, that's how I swap that out easily enough. He comes with this little belt covering, and this is for the back of his belt. And that's because it covers up a port where you can plug it in for the light up effect. And then his last extra piece is this head sculpt, or face sculpt, I should say, which has an open mouth look. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the open mouth look, but it is cool because for Kamen Rider Black Sun from Hot Toys, this is the only version of the character from Hot Toys that you can get this face sculpt. The open mouth does not come with the regular version or the special edition or anything like that. This only comes with the battle damaged exclusive version. And same thing, it's held on by magnets. But now, before we get further on into it, here's the little grip that he comes with. Like if you wanted him positioned like in a rider kick pose or doing some kind of aerial kind of acrobatic pose, this is a very good stand. The claw on it is held by a spring, so that's nice, but it's easy enough to open and it fits around the figure very nicely and snug. It even has these paddings to where it won't hurt the figure over time or scrape away paint or anything. The stand itself is a really kind of cool, like bendy, not really bendy wire. I don't even know what you would call it, but it's very nice and sturdy, and it holds its position well, and it screws into the base. You just have to thread it into the base, turn it around, and then it holds in just like that. But now let me get my little cord. I have my little extra long cord here that I use for when I do my Kaiju Chill O'Clock streams. Just plugs in here right above his butt. And I already have the switch on inside, so I don't have to mess with that. But here is what the light up looks like, you guys. Let me widen out this shot here. There's what the light up looks like. Let me turn off this light. You know what? Actually, the less natural sunlight coming through the my little skylight actually helps. So yeah, here's the light up feature. And sure, you have to attach them to a cord, but like I said, for older Hot Toys figures, like my Predator figure, he had a light up feature, but you actually had to put batteries in the figure. This, I like this a whole heck of a lot more. Just plug it in, you know, you can kind of hide the cord. I have a black cord that goes into him normally. There's not this blue cord just hanging off of him. So I definitely suggest a black type colored cord. That way you can hide it a little bit better. But just for the review and just because it's the only thing I have that's long enough that'll reach this far. But yeah, there's the light up effect. And again, you can take off the faceplate. He has his little eye in there. And then the switch for it, boom, is right there at the top. So you can turn it on and off. And the belt driver lights up as well as the eyes. Here is the open mouth. The open mouth face is a little trickier to get on, but once you get it lined up, it does sit on just like that nicely. So again, really, really cool light up effect. Looks really, really awesome. Great, fantastic figure. I don't even want to go over the base very much, man. See, those magnets snagged with that one. I can't get that one off nearly as easily. And that one just clips right on. I love that. Comes with a really nice base. I know I didn't go over the base much, but I actually heard that the base was reused from like a Wolverine figure. So it just has like a concrete backing. You know, you actually got some claw marks there, so I can actually see how they might have reused this from a Wolverine figure. Just kind of like a diamond plate pattern base for the main base that he stands on, but you just have this nice concrete like pillar with the rebar sticking out of it and stuff. Of course, you have the nameplate on here, Kamen Rider Black Sun. So nothing too crazy with the base, but still just an awesome figure overall. No complaints. 10 out of 10 for me. The only thing that I probably would have did a little bit differently, but again, what could you do, would be the antennas on the faceplate. Again, they're just kind of made out of a brittler material. But again, you can't make them out of a softer vinyl because over time they'd probably droop. So this is how you prevent them from drooping, is making them out of a harder, more brittle plastic. But again, you just have to be careful of breakage with that. But if you're buying Hot Toys, you're probably really careful with your stuff anyway, because again, you know, any type of collector, you just want to be careful with your stuff. Sure, things break, but you want to try to prevent that as much as possible. And without further ado, you guys, that about does it for this review on this Hot Toys exclusive Kamen Rider Black Sun Battle Damage version. Hope you enjoyed. We are Kamen Rider fan freaks, Godzilla fan freaks. Comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to like and follow Godzilla fan freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. Atomic Blast, that notification bell. Rider kick, that like button. All those good things. Maybe some more Hot Toys in the future, because I'd really like to pick up the Hot Toys Kamen Rider Black and the Hot Toys Shadow Moon from the 87 series. I know those recently released not that long ago. Of course, I'm running into like real life issues with like vehicle stuff. So, but fingers crossed that things get fixed for as minimal as possible. And because I'd really like to add those two figures to the collection. Again, those are running for about $270. Which again, you know, what did I say? About $280 to $300 is your standard MSRP for a Hot Toys. That pretty much exists. But hopefully the stocks hold for those figures for a little bit, because I would like to get both. Because you can't have Black and Shadow Moon without one or the other. So I really hope to get both those figures in the coming months. We'll just see how, you know, budgeting and all that stuff works. But hope you guys enjoyed this figure review. This was a long one. We're almost half an hour here. We will see you in the next video. We are Godzilla fan freaks, Kamen Rider fan freaks. Thank you for watching.
Ha 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 ha!